was a typo, and I'm like, welcome to Capes. I'm Jared, and I am talking about the Alien comics from Marvel. And Robert will be here soon, so we'll do that. But yeah, so these are written by Phillip Kennedy Johnson, one of the best writers in comics, period. I will maintain that. And we're talking about Bloodlines, Revival, and Icarus. And these were, each of these is really, the cool thing about this is each arc is vastly unique compared to the last one. And we'll talk about each arc individually. I'll breeze through a lot of them because for the format of the show, it's not, I can't go through every single issue. But yeah, but we'll get started on that. And by the way, so what's up, Parker? What's up, Cameron? Good to have you, gentlemen. So let us check this out. So we're going to start with the first volume, which was called Bloodlines. And again, written by Phillip Kennedy Johnson, by Marvel. So let's do this. So what we got here, and it opens up, and so what this kind of indicates, so what Johnson kind of retcons is that, I don't know if the right term is a retcon, but it's like, you know how the facehugger latches onto someone's head and like implants the embryo? Well, what he kind of puts in there as an idea is that the alien is that when you have a facehugger on you, you actually get like attached to the alien hive mind. And then he had seen images of this piece of work. So this is, I see them, all the aliens, and then that's the like, I guess, Ultra Queen Xenomorph. And what he's kind of saying, he's kind of putting in a form of intelligent design around the aliens. Hey, what's up, Tevia? And it's, so this guy had been like implanted by a facehugger when his entire had, and he's one of the few people to survive removal of the creature. Because as you guys know, if you know aliens, if you try and remove the queen, the alien from someone's chest, it kills them. But some reason it didn't do it at this one. And well, I never seen that type of Xenomorph queen before. Yeah, I think it's called like the Ultra Queen or like the Head Queen or something like that. Yeah, exactly. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And so he was the like security officer on a space station. He's retiring. He goes planet side and meets his son and his girlfriend, and he's kind of trying to rebuild his relationship with his son. Except what he kind of doesn't know is, I'm going through this, is his son is, let's just say the son is a rebel, because the way it works in the Alien franchise is the world is run by corporations, chief among them Weyland-Yutani. So that's the thing. So with Weyland-Yutani, they're essentially like like the Empire from Star Wars. So they're gonna rebel because they know that obviously Yutani is using these creatures to breed like essentially a bio weapon. So obviously, as you see the facehuggers come out, you see like all the stuff. So he's having like nightmares of his entire squad being like converted and then turned into the Xenomorphs. And then the shuttle boards, and then it gets into a full-on zero-G combat. And they discover that like Weyland-Yutani has been running experiments on the aliens, which is like, can't teach it new tricks. Yeah, exactly. That doesn't work. That doesn't work at all. So that's never going to work well for you. But so then what you got here is they unleash the alien alpha, and we'll see the alpha in a second. But then the facehuggers pop out. So basically, that's issue 1. In issue 2, I'm just gonna speed through this because it's like a lot. Essentially, he discovers that, like, hey, there was an attack on the space station that you used to be stationed at, and it's going to fall into the planet. We need you to take a squad up and go investigate it. Your son's up there. Was that and we got some nice pulse rifles. And then this is basically, think of this like the Alien movie, like the Aliens movie, actually, the one with the Marines, except like the Marines know what they're going into, or at least one of them does. They even have a xenomorph dog. And obviously, they're attacked by xenomorphs. The art and the design is pretty good. Yeah, the artwork is done by Salvador Larroca. He does the artwork for the first 2 arcs, and it's really, really good. And it's like, again, it's like everyone gets like wiped out by the aliens. And then as it continues on, they essentially fight xenomorphs until you discover that his son's. So what had happened is that they started essentially breeding the aliens in these creatures, and obviously that's how they look that way, because if you know aliens, you know that they take on the physical characteristics of whatever they're implanted into, like humans. And then obviously his son actually tells him, hey, look, I saw the super queen essentially, and she wants you because you essentially escaped. And that's the really cool part. And then we discover that the girlfriend's actually a synth android. Well, actually, first we see a chest burster come out, and then the aliens attack, and then we see Bishop, which it's really good. It's really fun. And then, as we see here, the aliens attack, and essentially what they're trying to do is essentially get off the station. That's what this kind of is as we move on. Then we see people like webbed up, and his son has a face hugger on him. And it's like, look, they always send an android for the company. Yeah, exactly. Or they won't tell you it's an android ahead of time, but I think everyone knows that Bishop is an android model. And they get attacked by more aliens as they want to do. And then wait. Yeah, and then the Alpha essentially wakes up. And we'll see the Alpha in a second. Like, it should be at the end of this issue, I think, is when there's the Alpha. This is the alien Alpha. And again, that's what I love about this, because they either send a synth or an android, one of the two. Yeah, exactly. That's what I really love about this series, is that Johnson takes like the established alien lore, builds on it, but doesn't like cheapen it like Prometheus and Alien Covenant kind of do with the origin of the aliens. No, he works with everything, but it's in a way that it adds instead of subtracts from the overall story in that sense. And let's see, what else? So then essentially, aren't there like alien kings or something like that in the comics? There might be. I know there's Praetorians, which act as guards for the queen, but I'm fairly certain an alien king is somewhere, Parker. If it's anywhere, it's in the comics, because those comics went nuts with how they expanded. So essentially, they like blow a hole in the station to like get them sucked out. We reveal that like the android, there and disguised as a human. And then what we discover is, this issue concludes the first arc. And then what this is that they're trying to like study, by the way, is it just me, or does the synth look like Gwen Stacy? It kind of looks like Gwen Stacy. I'm just going to tell you that right there. Just keep the jock away. And then obviously, yes, he has to reference Prometheus. So what the android reveals, or like theorizes essentially, is there is an intelligent design to the aliens. Like, what happens is, whenever a species gets too like full of their britches, if you will, as is the case of like humanity, and travels into space, they inevitably are drawn to the xenomorphs, because the xenomorphs are intended to wipe out that like species, if you will, in order to like reset things. Because it's like Prometheus with fire, hence the Prometheus reference, which I gotta say, that's not actually a bad origin for the Xenomorphs. As opposed, you could, I like the idea that like they're like evolution, which I do kind of dig. But it's like, it's also like, if you want to put some intelligent design to it, just having it be like a bio weapon, that's kind of cool. And then here you go, you see like the queen, and I think, do they call it something? I forget. I don't think they actually identify, but this is also where like, again, they reveal that like the aliens have the hive mind, which we all know, and they're kind of digging in with alien Earth, which is so good. And so he goes into space. We see a xenomorph in space, and he sacrifices himself essentially and burns up, but not before Bishop is able to extract the xenomorph chest burster. Then we discover that the cat has been like face hugged, if you will. So we'll see a cat xenomorph. Then the next series. So now we're into volume 2. Now, what volume 2 is your basic alien series. Someone wakes up from cryo, and then we're on this farming planet, and these people are like hunting, and essentially they're essentially a colony that's near one of those atmospheric processors from Aliens, and you're doomed. Yeah, exactly. And essentially, it's a hyper religious town that plays a part in this, and eventually what happens is that ship that we saw in the beginning of the movie arc crash lands on the planet, as we can see here, because inevitably what happened is that the xenomorphs got out, as they always do. And then what's kind of cool is, so they get in there, someone pops out and goes, "Get it out of me," essentially, "Please kill me." And then the chest burst happens. And there you go. We see the creature, and then it goes away. And then I love this page. Like, I'm sorry, this is the coolest page where you're seeing like a fire, and you see like the alien on the rooftop. Then the alien just skulks backwards as if it's stalking its prey, and you see the little chest burster right there. That is one of the coolest ways to end an issue. Like, I'm sorry, that is freaking dope. Like, I really, 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 really dig this. And yeah, this is, again, one of the most badass like things. It's like, look, yeah, it's like, you're screwed, ladies and gents. And then we continue. Yeah, it does look epic, Tevia. And then so the town holds a funeral to the people they lost in the crash. And then people are like, something's going on here. So they go to these two people go to check out the wreck, and the dude gets speared and then gored by a xenomorph. Xenomorphs are really terrifying, not gonna lie. Like, these things are just impossible to get rid of. Here's the other thing: they don't eat you; they just kill you or impregnate you. Like, that is what is extremely scary about the xenomorphs. There is no like motivation. You cannot kill these things unless you shoot them. And that's the cool part about like what Romulus showed, is that if you launch the thing into space, it will adapt. Again, that's why I put in the thumbnail the like statement is it's the perfect organism. That's what it is. That is what makes the xenomorph such an incredible horror creature. And then we see a lot. You see like all the people, like all the victims. And here's the other thing I really like about this book: Marvel let Johnson and Larroca go crazy in terms of the blood. They are not censoring this. It's just like they did with Alien Avengers, which I'll cover maybe next week. But it's like they are, when Marvel bought the comic rights to these properties, what I was concerned about is that, oh, great. So because it's like Marvel Publishing, are they going to censor it and like not show as much blood or stuff? No. They straight up do it. Like, xenomorphs are basically unstoppable monsters. That's basically the ultimate predator. Yeah. Which could explain the Yautja. Well, the Yautja hunt them as like a test for their warriors. And Robert will talk about that when he shows up. Yeah, darn you engineers. Exactly. And essentially, the thing about the Xenomorphs that no one ever like takes this threat seriously. That's the funny part. And what they'll even do, what they showed in Alien Earth in like episode 2, the alien will like set traps, like they'll deliberately harm someone but not kill them, knowing that other humans are in the room, so they'll hear the screams and go in. That's what it did in Alien Earth, which is really cool. And then even if you kill the alien, if you kill the alien or injure it, you can't actually be near it because he asked it for blood. And yeah, Parker, yeah, it's because of hubris. That's what it is. Oh, we'll be able to tame it eventually. Mankind tames all creatures. And I go, not when the creatures have a second mouth and burst from your chest, bro. That's not gonna work out for you, man. So we got 2 more issues, and then we're gonna get to like volume 3, my favorite volume. Volume 3 is my favorite. So so we see like the facehugger's about to like jump on her, and it does, and she gets infected because the android, as we can see, is the android. Essentially, what they want to do is they want to study the xenomorphs. That's kind of what it is. It's like you want to study the xenomorph to see like its life cycle and if there's any way that it could be controlled. And this is the other thing I really find terrifying. And they did this is one of the good parts of Alien Covenant when they show the minute they show the xenomorph walking like a human. I'm sorry, that is legit terrifying. Like, oh my god, the way it just struts, and I'm like, ha 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 ha. Like it's a 5-second shot in the Alien Covenant movie where it walks out of the airlock. It's just walk like a regular human, and I go, what the hell is that? But it's so good. Walk like yeah, it is so scary, Parker and Tevia, yeah. And then so basically, and there are some people that like see the aliens as like some type of religious like thing. Like there was this one guy in the Alien 3 extended cut, and that basically believed that's where that came. And then and Robert's here. All right, good. All right, so I will add him to the stage. All right, hang on. Hey, what's up, Robert?
No intro?
Okay, here you go. Here you go. All right, here you go. So whoa. So the thing that I really love about this, Robert, is again, the concern with this is is Marvel gonna make them like PG-13ify it out? Nope, not at all. No.
I give Marvel props for that. They do not usually nerf the violence.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes. And then so we're talking about 3 arcs by PKJ, and the thing about PKJ that I love, again, this is what makes him such a great writer. Yes, he adds stuff to the Alien universe, like the Alpha Alien. I'll show you that in a second. But it's like, and his internet probably fell out. But anyway, so continuing on. Okay, here we go. So let me.
About that. Sorry about that.
Good. But he adds to the alien lore, but he doesn't Prometheus it. He
he doesn't. He basically like he's like a lot of the Dark Horse writers had done. It's like, I'm adding my own little nuances, but unless it's a movie, I am not going to overhaul everything.
Yeah, it seems like they take the actual aliens as aliens movies as the lore, and this town is getting slaughtered by xenomorphs to the point where they try and cut the bridge. And Robert, again, this bottom panel. Right there with the aliens moving like humans, that is the most terrifying thing I've ever seen.
Yep, agreed.
Remember in Covenant when it's walking like a human? I've never seen that, and that is oddly terrifying.
Yep.
It is astounding.
Even though it makes sense because they are based on humans.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Robert.
Those forms. These forms.
Yeah. Answer a question for the chat. So someone had brought up about how they're kind of like the ultimate predator and stuff, and I mentioned about how predators like a part of it's either part of the final test or it is the final test that you have
It
to kill a
is. It
xenomorph.
is the final test prior to them doing their first solo hunt. So
Yeah,
basically,
exactly.
what we saw in AVP was basically those people going, and those predators going, and young bloods going to be blooded.
Yeah,
Once, in
exactly.
other words, once they kill, here's how it works. Their first they do a regular hunting down a dangerous predator as a group on their home planet, Yaushta Prime. Then they go and you have a group of them go and hunt down xenomorphs, and those that do slaughter, kill them, they then use the blood and become blooded.
Yeah,
After
exactly.
that, then they go on their first solo kill.
It's like how in like AVP when they blood
Yeah,
like the woman. Exactly
yeah,
that.
because she slaughtered one.
Yeah, exactly. She slaughtered the queen, and you.
No, no, no. She slaughtered a regular one first, then the queen later.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, so she killed two to his one. Ha! There you go.
Well, he helped kill the queen too, to be fair.
Yeah, I know. And what this volume does, so each volume of the PKJ run basically follows a theme. The first one is like, it's a straight up alien movie where like a father who's a Marine goes onto a space station that his son is on. Now, what PKJ adds, and I'll
Hmm.
show this image in a second, is that when you get face hugged, you are connected to their hive mind.
That is interesting.
And what it does, he basically implies. Now, I'm not sure if it's ever confirmed that this is actually what happened, but there is an overqueen on the xenomorph homeworld that like controls everything.
Xenomorph Prime,
Yeah,
yeah.
and the xenomorphs themselves are meant as a way to like reset a civilization. Like if a civilization becomes too advanced, the xenomorphs come and kill them all.
I don't know where I feel about that one.
Again, it's not like confirmed as part of the lore. It's an android's theory.
True. That's if anything, you can say this could have been an effect of David's xenomorphs and how
Yes.
he might have, like some of them have that type of mindset, but it's not all of them.
Yeah, it's like I don't mind it. It's not my favorite. Like I prefer the aliens just existing. There's
I
no
think I,
purpose to it.
I think that whole notion of it being a theory is a wiggle room. PKJ said like, well, I'm not going to say it's absolute.
Yeah, because we all saw what happened when Prometheus did that, or like Alien Covenant, and that didn't work out that well.
Oh, especially you mean Covenant, aka David becoming Ridley Scott's villain Sue.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, that lost it for me. I
Can I
actually
say
like the.
this?
Hmm.
So, actually, no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
I would say I like David in the first movie, but
Yeah.
in the second one, all that went right out the window.
Yeah. So here's what I love. So, and they do this very well in Alien Earth. It's the alien blends in. Like in
Hmm.
Alien Earth, there's legit a shot where like the characters walked, and all of a sudden behind them, you just see the xenomorph drop down. I'm like, ah,
Yep. Oh, by the way, the Predator homeworld, we actually got hints off in other things before.
AVPR.
Yeah, I think it was AVPR.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was the where we see the wolf predator. He receives the
oh,
distress call from the ship.
well, and Killer of Killers, that's on Prime.
Killers, which so good.
Yep, that's on Yaushta Prime. And basically, here's how it works. You have the Predator King, who is such like the eldest one of all. He is the greatest hunter, but he is so like ancient. Most people don't even like, he rarely even appears. He does exist, but he rarely appears because all the others can handle things without him. But if he ever needs to get final say, he would.
Yeah. So Robert, check this out. So this guy is like in there. He starts vomiting up these forms of xenomorphs.
Ooh.
And that's the thing. That's the truly terrifying thing about the Xenos.
Yep.
They will adapt to literally everything.
Yep. By the way, yes, we have seen Xenomorph Prime on the third AVP game.
Yeah, and it was in the Aliens Genocide comic, I believe.
Oh, there's been plenty of the comics that have had it. Technically, the first Dark Horse comic, which was treating itself as a sequel, but that obviously got retconned out, originally had to be Xenomorph Prime came to Earth.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, again,
And
that got dropped fast.
yeah, so the town is being swarmed. I'm just flipping through this because I do want you guys to go read this, but it's extremely good. I'm gonna actually skip to volume 3 for the interest of time.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, volume 3 is the best one.
Yep.
So here's what it is. So first, we get the introduction by a new artist on the series at this point. It is Julius Ohta, which I love his art, and you will see that in a second. So what you see is this planet that's under attack by xenomorphs. I love how like they don't how minimal setup we get in this.
Mm-hmm.
And then it cuts to this planet in the this radioactive planet inhabited by synthetic beings.
Right.
So what we discover is that Weyland-Yutani apparently had, or like the government had like a special forces team made up of only androids, and that's what this is.
Mm-hmm.
So I love this. So Freya, that's the team leader. She's climbing, she jumps, everything looks all idyllic, and then boom, they're under attack by like these soldiers, and it's like the soldiers are trying to stun them, but they're like, hey, you came to our plan, you're attacking us. So she just shows up and goes, and they're like, no, wait, don't kill us. And then they just smack her. And then I love this. So she sends out the call to the team, and then they all just scramble.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go into the hut, and I love one of the scenes. She's like, I'm human, don't shoot. And then all of a sudden they all just attack.
Mm-hmm.
Everything here is really good. So the general is like in an APC watching this, and then he's abducted by these synths. And then they basically say, okay, you found us. What do you want? And then essentially he goes, okay, so there's this thing on this planet that we think the planet's like radioactive, and we need you guys to go in and get it. And if you do this, we will give all synths full rights as citizens of the government.
Why is I feel this is just bait and they don't plan on honoring it?
Anyway, what gave you that idea, Robert?
Since when have they ever been that generous to synthetics?
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, exactly.
But since when have they been that generous to lower class in general, as Romulus proved?
Yeah, exactly. So the team deploys, and again, I love the art and the coloring, particularly on this, is so good. It's a lot. It reminds me a lot of Absolute Wonder Woman, the way it works out. I love this. So one of these synths name is Astrid, and she's like she's an artist thing, and she goes, "There's something beautiful about and timeless about the ruins of this place. Someday all civilizations will just be this. I hope we're around to see it." And then Freya goes, "Astrid, that is the most you thing you have ever said." I love this. This is so good. And so they like sprint, and obviously what this is designed to show is how the synths are very much like super soldiers, but because they're not humans.
We always knew that.
Yeah, and what's cool is that so they're going down into this cave. They can communicate non-verbally, essentially link their minds to. It's like when Martian Manhunter links the Justice League's mind.
Right.
It's that.
Well, again, they're synthetic, so of course.
And I love where
basically PKJ is thinking of stuff that's like so obvious as like, why hasn't anyone solved this before?
Yeah, exactly. And I like where their night vision, their eyes just glow. I love that. That's so.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of why this is the best. So they go into this facility, and they're trying to find like this like specimen, and then they see all these creatures, and they're like, what the hell were they doing here? Then they hear a sound, and they run into a hive. And here's the thing, it's like it's what this kind of is. It's like, because remember, the Xenomorphs, even if they don't like want to impregnate you, they will lay traps you, like in Earth.
Yep. They laid a trap. How can they set a trap, man? They're animals.
Yeah, exactly. And then
So wait, I got to say, game over, man, game over.
Yeah, exactly. And I love how the androids break out swords and they're like chopping their way through all these aliens. And obviously they don't necessarily have to deal with acid for blood because otherwise they'd be
Yep.
kind of screwed.
To make a little correction, Parker. No. It's thinking between the android's mind. Only the androids are doing it. It's not like people have psychic abilities.
Yeah. It's not like how there's like mutants in this. No.
It's basically like they're connecting via the cloud.
Yeah, that's essentially what it is. It's essentially like they're sending a text. Essentially, I love this. A Praetorian is charging at the synth. He just rips its goddamn head off. Again, it's like that's what I really love about this is that it captures how like
they really want to have this place to themselves.
Yeah, exactly. And then the sense discovered these surviving humans, and everyone's like, wait, they lied to us about there being humans? So, yeah, exactly. So we see so it starts raining, and and now what you're gonna discover is that one of the androids, Seth, he doesn't trust humans.
Good reason.
Yeah, exactly. Because also this team was royally screwed by like the government, so of course they're not going to trust humans. So they go to work repairing all of their all of their wounds, and then they're shown around the colony, and then they say, "Hey, we'll help you accomplish your mission. Pay attention to this particular woman because she's about to become very important to the story of this volume." To the point where here's how much Seth doesn't like aliens. You ready? So he discovers there's this like moth, if you will, that's crawling on her and it's gonna bite her. He sees it and he goes, "It's nothing." Like he doesn't care about humans. That's gonna come back to bite them all in the ass real soon.
Let me guess. It infects her with something. I have not read this one. I've read the first two.
Yeah, it does. And wait till you see what it does, because it is so horrible. By horrible, I mean great.
So it definitely sounds like he's taking elements, at least loose elements from the duology, the Prometheus Covenant.
Essentially, yeah. Except here's the thing: Seth has even more reason to hate humans than David did.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the different type of species, is what I mean.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. It's kind of like that.
You know, like the spores coming out and the one coming out to the guy's back and everything.
The backburster, yeah, that was creepy as hell. There's a VR game that you can play with your phone. It's a VR experience where you're the alien, you burst out of the dude's back.
Oh,
it's really crazy. Like it starts off, you're in the guy, and the other thing that I really like is that. So they're running out of ammo and they need to move fast. So all of a sudden now the androids are using like primitive weapons like axes and bows and arrows. It's really cool. So they moved through this facility, and then they discover. So obviously this has to be an alien thing, and someone has to be getting sick all of a sudden and go, "Don't worry, I'm fine." Spoiler alert. She won't be fine.
Obviously.
Yeah, and essentially SEAL team, that's what the Android Special Forces team is called. Is ambush, yeah, exactly. And then they are trapped by the humans. And there's a queen there.
Yep.
Which so you may be wondering, Jared, were they really experimenting on? Did the company really create a queen? Not necessarily, because if there's need of a queen, a drone can evolve into a queen.
A Praetorian can become a queen, yes. Or no, a drone can become a Praetorian and right to a queen.
Yeah.
Basically,
it's an evolutionary cycle.
Big Champ was on the verge of becoming a queen.
Yeah, but that's where the deleted scenes of like them being turned into eggs kind of comes from, I think.
Well, that was originally how they would have it be. That obviously that's since been dropped, obviously.
Well, yeah, and luckily it's a deleted scene, so they really don't have to explain it.
Yep, but one thing I always love is is all that stuff. Like when you see all the stuff, that's them puking it up so they can. They're creating their hiding places.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, I love these covers so much. The way they kind of
Mm-hmm.
have that 3D like effect on it.
Yep.
It's really good. So now we're up to issue 4. And all right. So the team fights, and it's again, the fights in this are superb because what I like about this is that obviously the humans are strong, the synths are stronger than like normal humans, but it still feels like a tough fight.
Yep.
That's
Tevia,
really,
you should definitely look up these words. These are standard.
yeah, exactly. It's essentially
I'm not trying to be insulting. I'm just simply saying, look them up, dude. These are standard definitions.
if you play the Aliens versus Predator game for console, the one that came out in the later 2000s, they have Praetorians in there.
Yep. Or even on PC.
Yeah,
With,
exactly.
like I say, my favorite is still AVP2 because in the Alien one, you actually go through the life cycle, including actually bursting out of both a human and a predator.
So you get to become a Predalien?
In the unfortunately not so good expansion pack, but yes.
Oh, that's great. And then Nora the android is killed.
Mm-hmm.
And again killed by the queen. So the team basically collapses the cave on top of the queen and escapes. And this lady is not doing so well, and she's like really sick. And so eventually, like,
But again, but it's not a typical thing. So they aren't thinking she's having any xenomorph. They're not thinking that because
they
she's
don't
not.
know what that is because let me put it this way, she's not. It's not. Let me put it this way, it's not what Alien Covenant did. Let me put it to you.
Oh, I know. I can tell. Well, I can tell that would have happened by now.
Yeah, exactly. So we see Seth, and so actually, Eli is the one who doesn't trust humans. Seth was in a relationship with Nora, and now that she's dead, he's like, "Look, it's over for me." So he plucks out his own eyes,
Ugh.
and lets death come to him. So the dropship. So they find the dropship, and then what's happening with that particular individual starts to manifest. Like she goes essentially feral, and she even has a tongue that wraps around someone. She starts to like consume.
So basically, in other words, it metamorphosized her as opposed to gestate in her.
Yeah, exactly. So, by the way, Robert, I kind of feel like I'm doing Pro Teacher's Noob. Wow.
Yep.
So this is what it feels like.
Yep. Why do you think I love doing it for almost 600 lessons?
I'll give you that. That's what she turns into.
Ugh.
Not done yet, though. That's what she's like. Now the metamorphosis isn't over, brother.
Uh-oh.
And they see this person, and then the Xenomorphs.
Question: does Eli ever regret letting it happen?
Not from what I remember.
Oh man,
he doesn't trust humans, and I'll show you what essentially happens. And it's like, yeah, she was taken over by an alien protein, and he goes, now they find out, and they're like, you didn't stop it, or you didn't tell us that she was with us and she was infected.
Oh, they do call him out though.
Yeah, he goes, yes, I stood back and let the organics who tried to kill us destroy themselves instead. And I go,
not thinking that this thing would destroy you too.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think he really cared. I think he just wanted the humans dead.
So,
and then
yeah.
What does that newly infected person do? Leads the Xenomorphs to the human-like camp and slaughters them all.
Oh, geez.
Because this is the other thing. She still has her memories.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So hang on. I got to rewind. I was flipping through this earlier. So let me just go all the way back to the beginning. Actually, no, I can just click up here.
Yeah, great plan. But yeah, like that great plan, dude. Like, yeah, that's where you let your hatred blind you when you don't even think about this could bite us in the ass.
That's the thing about this. It's challenging because it's essentially you're just like the humans.
And yet he'll never admit it, I bet.
Yeah, he never will. But so again, it's a slaughter, and then Steel Team shows up and just kicks ass. And then
Mm-hmm.
they see this creature, and I'm like, I see you right there. Right there. He shoots in the head. It doesn't do anything, and it just runs away.
It's pretty much the whole body is an organism.
Yeah, essentially. And so what they do is they set off a bomb. So the thing is carrying Seth essentially. Well, actually, Seth shows back up, saves the team, takes a bomb and detonates it again, trying to kill the creature. Still doesn't work, by the way. If anything, it gets even more animalistic.
Because it's losing the human parts.
Yeah, exactly. And then it finds the alien queen that has dug itself up from the rubble. And so Steel Team falls back to this cave, and then what they're going to do is they're triggering their extraction beacon.
Mm-hmm.
And they figure, okay, so Astrid gets up to go on patrol, and then she gets attacked and killed by the queen.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's like one by one, they're just being picked off. And then
androids, humans, they both suffer from the horror cliche.
Yeah, exactly. And essentially, so Freya is trying to save this little girl, and that's how deep Eli's bigotry is. He still is like, you go save your humans. That's why you brought us here. Even if it's a kid, he doesn't care. He's like, no, it's a human. It will inevitably, like,
it'll grow up and turn on us, which is like, only if you treat it so nastily.
Yeah, exactly. But and that's Freya's point. And then Seth is like, no, Seth throws.
Don't you mean Eli or Eli?
Eli, I get this confused. Eli throws the human off of like a balcony, and she lands in some vines, obviously, right near some eggs.
Oh no.
Yeah, and the queen shows up. Don't worry. So in
other words, new 3.0.
Yeah, exactly. So essentially, so Freya and Eli are like fighting, and then Freya's like, "Look, we can't let a kid die, bro. You're angry and petty and superstitious and broken." So she stabs him in the eye, and then goes and saves the child, and then Eli saves her. So he's like, because what this book, the theme of this book is family, because even though these synths are like synthetics, they're sentient enough that they are, for lack of a better term, human. If that makes sense.
Bishop proved that.
Yeah, exactly. It's carrying on that tradition. I mean, even like Seth and Nora were in a relationship together, so it's not like
it's different from Ash. Ash was too mechanical.
Because remember, he was an earlier model.
Yeah, they were always a little twitchy.
Yeah, exactly. I love that.
I had to say that. They were always a little twitchy.
I love this. The face hugger jumps on the two face huggers jump the kid. The friend just grabs him and just throws him away. And that humor works. And then the queen shows up. Freya, it grabs Freya's arm with her tongue, with the tongue, and Freya rips it out of its mouth. And then fires into the queen's head.
You know what? I can't help but wonder what Bishop could have done if he wasn't caught off guard and ripped it in half.
Oh, let me put it this way: if they had the budget, like nowadays, oh boy.
Yep, I'm just saying, if he wasn't caught off guard.
Yeah, exactly. Which
not
I
bad
can't blame
for a
him
human.
because he's the alien queen, so not bad for a synth.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. So the general shows up, and all right, so he deploys in the dropship. And spoiler alert, Robert, you kind of called it, where he goes, "Are you really gonna give these citizenship?" He goes, "No, they're expensive toys with delusions of grandeur. I just said it so they do this mission for us."
Of course.
Exactly. And let's just say he sees a shadow moving in the darkness. And
it's the one woman.
Freya walks up and sees that the general is being torn apart by the one woman. There you go.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So Eli, so essentially the SEAL team runs past her, gets in the dropship, and takes off. So, and then this is where, like, essentially the Freya decides to, like, adopt the kid, and it's like, hey, we're all a family. Like, even if we're not human, we went through hell together. We're family. So, and the kid, she has no one else. What are you gonna do?
Again, she's new 2.0.
Exactly. So, all right. So then the last page of the volume, we see the city, then we see the cave, and then we see the woman being entombed. Kind of like the Deacon alien in Prometheus.
Oh, especially if you look at the comics and you find out what happened to that.
Yeah,
it becomes a mountain. Well, okay, it's never officially confirmed because they legally couldn't, but it's implied that with the same Deacon alien, it becomes a sentient mountain.
What happens, as far as I know, what the story I think is, it got into the black goo and mutated and became a mountain.
Yep. Again, they could never officially say that was definitely the Deacon or not, but it was basically all but implied.
So, Robert, what did you think of the volume you didn't read?
Wow, loved, definitely the best one. Definitely.
I know. So I love all three. Don't get me wrong, all three of them are great, but oh my god,
like
it deals with all the themes of humanity so freaking well.
One thing I will say I love about the comics that it proves is you don't need Ripley for everything.
Oh yeah, 100%. You can do other stuff with her.
Romulus proved that.
Yeah, even though that was like a greatest hits of Aliens kind of.
But the fact that he was still able to explore things from the origin, the prequel duology, but then make it actually show, clarify some things. Like, obviously, the biggest thing that they don't say, but it's so obvious that I love about Romulus, is that it makes it clear Big Chap had the black goo, and since Big Chap was on board a ship that had a fossilized engineer, meaning it was around for thousands of years, meaning it was long before David did his stuff that debunks the whole David created them.
Exactly.
Now we don't know if it means the engineers created them, because that's the hardest part.
Yeah. Do you want to see my favorite page from Volume 2?
Hold on.
This is the best image in Volume 2, in my opinion.
Let me see.
Just the xenomorph on the church, and it just slowly retreats like it's stalking its prey now. I'm like,
love it.
That is badass.
Oh, by the way, speaking of other alien books, can I tell you one bit that I just love that it was only you could only do in the Judge Dredd crossover?
Which is?
What would happen if a xenomorph dropped from a huge tall building into the ground? Let's just say the entire street down below would be a big, giant acidic crater.
Oh, that's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I'm telling you right now, next week we'll cover Aliens Avengers because...
Yep, I already did a PTN on that.
Yeah, this is such a great series. You get to see what would happen if Mr. Sinister makes guns that shoot face huggers.
But
like, that's something he would do. But I'm like,
here's the big question: who's a bigger monster, Sinister or David?
Sinister.
Yep.
I still because David, you could argue, is justified in his hatred of humanity. Sinister is a dick.
Well, yeah, I would say he's justified to a point, but not really.
Well, it's like you understand David more than you do Sinister, because David, it's more like I've been like everyone's telling me I'm not like who am I? He's essentially going through an existential crisis. So someone made
yeah.
So he's looking at it. Okay, the engineers created man. Man created me. I have to create something.
No, I get that. But then how far he was willing enough to kill the one woman he actually cared for, Shaw.
Well, yeah, because he was like doing experiments and stuff. But the point is, by the way, the spoiler, the ending, the part of Alien Earth that reveals like there's a multiverse. Oh, David's.
Yeah, and there's a multiverse still of engineers still out there.
Yeah, it's like that's what I love about
The
the
guy,
Alien.
the Council of Davids.
Yeah, that's what I freaking love about the Marvel Alien and Predator books. They legit. It doesn't feel. Again, I'm gonna say this again. It doesn't feel like a Marvelized version. It feels like the classic movies, but in comic book form. Even in like
Even the DC crossover
is
felt the same way. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. Now, okay, you guys, if you guys didn't read it, because you'd think, okay, so the Avengers fight the Xenomorphs. That's got to be simple for them, right?
Here,
yeah,
only if they stumble upon it.
Yeah, if they catch it soon enough. Yeah, they don't in this, and the Xenomorphs spread.
And it's basically, it's 4 pods are sent to Earth. Each pod will contain multiple queens, each and alongside multiple eggs and already impregnated aliens, and at different smaller locations. As in, places that are going to be remote. No one's going to pay attention. So by the time the Avengers would hear about it, it's too late.
Yeah, and they show it that. I'm like, the way that Hickman factors in Black Panther's like intergalactic lore. This could only happen with Hickman. He weaves so much of Marvel into Aliens that it doesn't like. Again,
well, given Imperial, we already knew he had a loving for that idea.
No, but my point is like, because there is a danger of that where it's like, he makes it feel like they've been in the same universe forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, it's Hickman. This is what happens because I still say, if Hickman had had his chance to tell his X-Men story, it would have been freaking dope.
Yep, but who knows?
But I'm saying Hickman is one of the writers that I'm like, if Hickman's on anything, it's like it's guaranteed to at least be serviceable.
Look at Imperial.
Look at Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yep. Although the fact that he's not the one writing Ultimate Endgame is a shame.
And you see that they announced a book that's like Ultimate Universe 2 years in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's probably the checkpoint book where they'll go, okay, so here's where we are now. Let's advance the plot there. So obviously they're not ending the Ultimate Universe.
Obviously. I mean, we already knew that. Hickman's just wrapping up his stuff on Spidey.
Yeah, exactly. And then...
although, to be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts a different Spidey book, Ultimate Spidey book. It is just the first, volume.
Maybe Peter and MJ go on like a vacation or something like that, and the Sun takes over.
Yeah.
There's any number of ways that they can continue this organically. But the point is, Alien comics are great. They're some of my favorite works, particularly because, again, Johnson, if you can tell that Johnson loves the movies. Like, there is never a doubt in my mind that I'm like, okay, all of this fits, even if there's stuff that I'm not sure how you feel about, like the aliens being like intelligently designed. It's like, I see what you're going for, and it fits in the universe. So it's like, okay, I may not like it, but it's like, I see.
And it's done with enough wiggle room. You can say, oh, that android has no idea what it's talking about.
Yeah, it's kind of like where like David calls like the Xenomorphs, oh, a fire, or like that's gonna purge the earth or something like that. So I'm like, yeah, I caught it. It's fine. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But all in all, pretty dope.
One thing with Teladia,
yeah.
I don't think he was not allowed to. I think it was his choice not to.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't have to write everything that's in the Ultimate.
But he probably been working with Camp anyway.
Oh, I'm sure they've been coordinating, because in the same way that like the Justice League book is like what advances like the main story of DC, when you think about the Ultimates is doing that from Ultimate Marvel.
And not that, you have to think down. Camp is at least co-plotting the Incursion crossover. It's lousy, I'm sorry, but...
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, I am not liking the Incursion crossover. I do not like it.
I haven't checked it out. So, Robert, how do you rate Volume 3 out of 10?
9.
9? Okay. Where does it rank among the other two?
The other one, second I gave a 7. First I gave an 8.
So, yeah. Again, this is the best one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez.
Nothing, but nothing against the second one. It just was, not sure. Just a little all over the map.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. It wasn't that bad. But anyway, so I think that's a good place to leave it. So, Robert, to let everyone know where they can find you, brother.
You got my link down below. I got my Bond retrospective coming up. I'm wrapping up the Pro Teachers Noobs, Justin Edge and Stan Lee by next week. And I did with Pika. I've already finished recording the last of the Peter David Supergirl PTNs with Britt. And Jared and I are covering the 1 year later of the Trinity stories.
Exactly. So, stay heroic, everyone. Remember, Lois Lane is Lois Lane. She belongs to Julius. And remember, in space, no one can hear you scream. Bye-bye.